Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Suitcase Sarah, right? If any of you didn't know, the Boone trial verdict is in. Was anybody surprised about that? I didn't think so. Not I, anyways, and I didn't even watch it. I thought that all juries in the States were 12-person, but it looks like 6 people in Florida. Look at you learning something new every single day. I hope you guys are doing well today. It is the end of a long week. I am sending positive vibes to all of my people. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, the jury wanted to go home for the weekend. Don't we all, in a way, want to go home for the weekend? Or some of us want to go away for the weekend, right? Some this way, some that way. Where do we want to go? Hold on. Let me pop this out here. Sorry. Good evening. Shane, you're barely late. 2 minutes in. God knows I ramble longer than that normally. Blue Strat Dude's here. Vicky's here. Beverly, Cindy. You think they had their dinners to go? You think so? Oh, me too. Cellulite yoga pants. But in order to put that on the screen, I have to get back to reality. Whoops. Do your fucking job, lady. Put this up here. There we have it. Now when I say I want to escape to I was browsing through the cases that we're looking at today, and oh right, I was gonna skip. Jesus Christ, Paisley, get with the fucking program, would you? Would you try getting with the program today? Sorry, my mind is elsewhere. Small claims.
On record and live streaming.
Yeah, on record and fucking live streaming, Judge. You surely are. Anyways, I heard the judge sort of being a bitch and this lady sort of giving her attitude, so I thought we would listen to that before we scrub through it and find the real case. Do I like pina coladas or getting sucked into singing? 'Cause I can't see the lyrics without making your ears bleed. See, I can't even get it out. Can't even get it out properly, John. Alright. Molly Dutton.
And I don't have proof of that. So unless you've got something.
Yeah. Thank you.
All for today, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right. Let's see. Molly Dutton.
Yes.
Let's see. There you are. This case 37376. Ms. Grace has not appeared at 25 after. Not in the courtroom, not on Zoom.
For the second time, but this is the second time doing this. And so,
Well, I don't have proof of how you gave her notice of today.
so
Do you have any
and
proof?
this is part of the problem with her is
Do you
I
have
think
any
that she's,
documentation that shows me you gave her notice for today or not?
that's what I'm trying to explain is I believe
Yes or
she's
no is the first answer, and then you can explain what's going on. So do you have documentation that she was served notice or not?
I have documentation that it was delivered to her like UPS store where she gets her mail delivered.
Is it in your information here? I don't see anything filed with the court.
Let me, were there no documents that came through for you? I
When
thought I
did you
sent-
send something to the court?
It would have been a while ago. I sent her the certified mail on the 7th of September.
But when did you file it with the court? There's
The,
nothing in the
okay.
court.
Well, I'd have to dig through my sent mail, so that's not a good use of time. I can send the image of the mail confirmation.
Okay, so you think you mailed to an address is what you're telling me?
Yes.
And have you gotten back any information from USPS that she was served notice?
I mean, I have the delivery confirmation, yeah, snip off of their website.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I can't find that she has notice today. You know, I can't make a finding to issue an
Well,
order and
And that's why I was hoping for more information on how to do ex parte, because I think she has checked her mail numerous times and has left the slip in her post office box and only files that address with law enforcement and everywhere else. There's no other address that she uses for the assessor's office or anywhere else. There's no other.
well, and she's a neighbor, if I remember right.
There is it's a hoarded abandoned home that's a nuisance property. I've had to get a protection order
So
against.
she's not a neighbor to you, or trying to remember the facts. I've read a lot today before I re-review it, but
her property.
was that the issue?
It is an uninhabitable home except for the squatters that are there. I mean, there were people removed last night, but she does not live in that home. She has about 3 different hoarded.
Well, yeah, I think you might have to, I don't know what to tell you to do, but you have to get her notice that the court can count on, that she had notice before default. You may need to hire a company that does this as a business and they
can't find her. I've tried that. There is no physical address for her on file anywhere.
You've talked to a service company that does this as a business? All right, well, I can't, on what you have here today and what you've told me today, I can't go forward. So, this is our first hearing. I'd be willing to set it over, give you some more opportunity to see what you can do.
Second hearing. I did this already in the spring. This is the second time I've tried to serve her.
Well, then nothing the court can do to go forward here. So either set it over give it some more shot, or it's dismissed today. What do you want to do?
I would like drug addicted people to stop coming to my home.
I understand that. What would you like the court to do today? You set it over to another day and give you a chance, or to see what you can do? All right, so we'll set another court date. Again, I don't know, and I can't advise you on how to make this happen. But there are folks out there who can help you.
There haven't been so far. This has been 4 years.
Well, yeah, you can keep trying. I don't know what to tell you. There are other legal avenues in Superior Court that maybe you want to take. I don't know. That might require hiring an attorney and so forth, but that's up to you. So what date are we setting?
We're looking at December 20th.
Okay, so you need to get anything? We're gonna find her something, or
She'll need to reach out to the court.
all right. So is that, and then December 20th, how's that look?
Just as useless as all the other ones.
Friday.
Fine.
Okay, December 20th at 9 or 8:30. And then you work the problem as best you can, and you'll need to contact the civil department again to get the full service packet so that you have that to serve Ms. Moy.
Is there any way to send email if I have her email address? I mean, is there another venue besides certified mail when someone's not findable?
There's personal service is what's a lot better than certified mail, because certified mail in that all we get is a signature. And then, and the way USPS is doing things now since the pandemic, they don't confirm that their person handed this information and checked an ID at all. So frankly, certified mail is pretty useless to the courts having to find a legal standard of notice. So
Well, I know, and
personal,
this was supposed to be restricted delivery and it's still, I mean, it's still the same.
yeah, they don't tend to do what they used to do. So personal service of someone is what's preferred. So that's what I'm gonna kind of try and make that happen.
I have been.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so December 20th, 8:30, see what you can do about personal service. And we'll be back then.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, the grooms, Keith and Mary Groom.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this concerning 37924 Cameron Longo. And I looked through, I didn't see any proof that you were able to serve that person notice in your documents unless I missed it.
Yeah, I do have proof. I didn't realize to include it as an exhibit. I had him served with the Thurston County Sheriff. I have a receipt number.
So that doesn't help me. I need to see that affidavit. Can you get it to the court today within the
yes,
next 15 minutes?
Yes, I can take a picture of it with my phone and I can email it. If you give me an email address, I'll give it to you right now.
I'm gonna cut you off after about 15 minutes, so give me your claim. If you can do it in less, great. And then I'm gonna turn to Ms. Baxter, because as you see, I have lots of cases to do. So I've reviewed everything that both sides have filed. And so if there's something in particular you want me to focus in on your claim or something, or a particular something, let me know. And then after I hear from Mr. Anderson, I'll turn to you, Ms. Baxter, and I'll hear from you on behalf yourself. You're being sued individually as well as Harbor Surface Solutions. So we'll hear all of that, and then the court will make a decision. And so, Mr. Anderson, you're on.
Okay. Thank you, Judge, for seeing our case. I'm Michael Anderson. I have witnesses. It's my wife, Becky Anderson, Michael London, and Andrew Nash. Those two individuals represent Nash Home Builders, who's building our home.
Okay, is this the same general that employed, I'm presuming, Harbor Service Solutions, or
Correct.
different?
Correct.
Okay,
So I am the homeowner, and
right. So my question first off, and I will be doing a lot of interrupting for both of you to try and get to it. My first question here is, you're suing a subcontractor?
Correct.
You had a contract with, I'm sorry, what was the name of your builder, Nash?
Nash Home Builders,
Okay,
LCC.
and so you had, at the time of all this, did you have a contract with Nash Home Builders?
Me personally,
Well, you and your wife, yeah,
I have a contract with Nash.
now.
I had it at that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then presumably, I'm guessing, and maybe we'll hear this from Mr. Nash, that they subcontracted to do this floor with Harbor Surface Solutions?
Correct.
Why aren't you suing your general, and why are you suing the subcontractor?
Because when this first occurred,
Yep,
I was involved in reviewing and looking at items. And I have worked very well with my contractor. And when it became very apparent that Harbor Surface Solutions could not do the job, I'm the one that made the decision to stop interacting, working with them because of their inability to deliver on the product. At that point, I also took it over because Andrew was busy. And I took it over because I have more experience and I have the time to try and work to a solution. I exhausted those, and then that's when we came here.
all right. Mr. Nash, I'd like to hear from you. I think this will help clarify a few things. Come on up to that table. I'll put you under oath, and then let me hear, because I'm still kind of puzzled. So raise your right hand, Mr. Nash. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
We can move that out of the way, get a little more comfortable. All right, so you agree that you engaged in a contract with
Right.
Mr.
Hey, thank you, Miss Donna. Sarah Boone trial over. Guilty. Donna is released from Boone trial duty. Hi. Oh, NPC's here too. You guys, thank you so much. 5 new members. Members only this weekend. And every weekend. And NPC, thank you so much. Yes, I did hear that Miss Sarah Boone is guilty. Did she already file an appeal? Also, I heard that her hair was professionally done. It didn't look it to me. She could have used a Felicia. This is definitely not going to be quite as riveting, I would say, or maybe as infuriating. Probably not. Probably not an acceptable comparison, Paisley, to think of a small claims thing versus a murder trial. Also, she asked for snacks as well. Well, I sort of get that part. Although I went to the gym twice yesterday, not just for show. I actually went twice. And I'm gonna go after this. After we're done, keeping it up. I've walked almost 100 miles this month so far. It's more kilometers than that, but it shocks me. That's a lot, isn't it?
Mr. Anderson to do something at his
Yeah.
home?
So
Okay.
this with Harbor Service Solutions wasn't something that we were going to do from
So
the
did you
onset of the
subcontract
contract.
with Harbor?
I did.
Service,
did.
okay. And you subcontracted with them to do what?
To fix a crack.
Okay, that's what I thought. I read in the
Yeah.
plaintiff's.
That
information.
was really the impetus behind
Okay.
why we hired her.
So
Because
you hired that, Ms. Baxter, and she's the owner of Harbor Service Solutions. Okay. All right. And so you were the general on the deal, and then something went awry.
Yeah.
And what did you do? Did you do anything about that relationship with Harbor Surface Solutions that I should know about, or?
I think the majority of it's in what he said, was that we tried to get a finished product and we never could get a finished product, and the
Meaning
job.
Nash tried to get a finished product for your client, Mr. Anderson.
Right.
All right.
Tried to, through Harbor Surface Solutions, to get a finished product, and she couldn't deliver that finished product.
All right.
And so it was carrying on from what was supposed to be 3 days to 3 weeks.
Okay.
And all the other subcontractors were needing to work, but they could not work until this was finished.
Right.
And so at that point, both the homeowner and I decided, as well as Monica, because she could not deliver that finished product.
Oh, who's Monica? I haven't been paying enough attention. I'm so distracted. That's because, well, anyways. Does this guy, hold on, are his eyes like black around both of his eyes? William Kreitz over here? And like, has he been crying wearing mascara? Like, bro, I use makeup wipes for that. Seriously, look at William's face. I gotta zoom in on him. We're gonna have to zoom in on this shit. I wish I had some guys in the truck to fuck around with this stuff. let's see what Paisley can do herself. It's true. He looks like a sad clown, wearing makeup, covering it up. Has he been crying? What's going on in his room? Let's talk about that, baby. Let's talk about Lamp, baby. Let's talk about you and me. What has Randy got going on up here? What kind of bag is that? It's one of those expensive baskets. And then, you think those are just dark circles? That looks like eyeliner. And here's the thing. We're talking to a lady. If I turned off the lights and took off my blush, I would look like a fucking ghost. But still. Monica. Oh, there's Monica. Okay. Monica looks like every lady from the 90s that I remember named Monica. The grooms are still there. I guess they figured their shit out. Oh, and what's down here in his room? Is that a Star Wars thing behind this guy, you guys? I'm going to hit play, and we're going to watch, and then I'll go back to the regular side.
That we needed to figure out another solution because
Okay.
she tried one time, she put it,
So what
put
was
a
your
coat
other,
on.
before we even get
Go
there,
ahead.
what was your other solution then? Is to still work with Harbor Surface Solutions?
At
or-
that point, we just needed to stop
Okay.
because she'd already tried to do it twice.
So that means, does Nash Home Builders, did you say we're no longer contracting with
Sorry.
you?
No.
No.
I mean, if we could have come up with another solution, but we did not see another viable solution.
So what did Nash Home Builders do in relationship to?
I think I hit each one of those, Jonathan, with my shoulders. Thank you. You're so sweet. It does look like a Darth Vader case. Always so interesting to look. I'm glad Julie made it from the Zoom. What I have to assume is a Zoom lookout near the Golden Gate Bridge where people go to do important Zoom calls. It's become a thing since 2020. It's something we'll explain to our kids. We'll say, no, those are not backgrounds. That was a real place you went to be on Zoom. I'm kidding, obviously. Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday. I did too, but I was 12, so we got to be careful.
Harbor Surface Solutions. Did you cancel your contract or not, or keep working or
wasn't,
what? So you chose them for this job, right?
I chose them for this
Yeah,
job.
okay. And so then when you decided it wasn't working to get the product for Mr. Anderson, what did you do? What did Nash Home Builders do? Can't answer that. I'm confused. You're still working on this project. What did you hire somebody else?
No,
Talk to
because
home-
our other solution, our only other option, because the floor looked so horrible that we could not come, it was not we couldn't live with what the product turned our surface into.
Okay,
And so because of that, our only other option was to put LVP flooring over the top of it, which was not our intention.
okay.
And so we had to figure out another way to make this work because it was, I mean, I don't, you've seen
so
the
then you-
pictures, you've seen, right?
So Harbor Service Solutions did that. if I
They did
remember
that
right.
to the
Yeah.
floor, yes.
So continued with that different, all right. Okay, just stay right there. I'm going to jump back to
Sure.
Mr. Anderson. So Mr. Anderson, then again, so I'm still trying to even get over this threshold of logistics that who you're suing.
Correct.
I'm still seeing that the suit should be against the general contractor. The general contractor may have a suit against Harbor Surface Solutions, but your contract is, as I see it, is with Nash Home Builders.
Understand.
Okay, so help me with that
Okay.
problem.
So at the point that we were having difficulty with this,
Mhm.
and we went over on the 24th of May, and I had been talking with Andrew and Michael in advance.
And that's
prior
Nash
to-
Home Builders.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
Nash Home Builders. We went over and looked at the solution or at what had been done and was unsatisfactory. So I made a decision that I was not going to sue Nash. Had a positive building relationship with it, saw no reason to sue them and have them turn around and sue Harbor. So I made a business decision to go ahead and I notified Monica and Nash that we no longer were going to pursue Harbor's installation of the clear coat. I
Okay,
made that decision. And I notified not only Andrew and Michael, Monica. And at that point, I identified that we would have to be going with a different flooring, the LVP.
Mhm.
And I notified her at that point that I was taking over responsibility of this and that I would be coordinating with her for some level of reimbursement.
okay. All right,
But I had a builder that was extremely busy, had a positive business relationship with them, and saw no need for me to make life difficult on him and then him have to sue. I'll do it directly.
right. Okay, you don't have a suit that I can recognize here. I know, and I understand what you're saying is, your suit is through the general contractor in these situations, not directly the subcontractor. And I understand what you're saying. You have a great relationship. But they've contracted with subcontractor, you haven't. And so the parties in action is your general contractor, not the sub. So you don't have the right person here. And so I have to dismiss this claim. Doesn't mean you can't refile or do something else. It doesn't prevent you from going forward on these issues that you have with Harbor Surface Solutions and or Ms. Baxter individually, but you haven't named the correct parties in this suit, so it gets dismissed. So that's it. But everything's still open to you going forward. That doesn't end your whatever action you're going to take. That makes sense. I mean, it may not make sense entirely to you, but at least that your actions are still open to you.
No, I worked in the business world, worked in contracts. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I also understand in the business environment, trying to work things forward
Mhm.
and get a resolution of them.
right.
And I just knew for a fact and in fact, I took over responsibility from the flooring at that point on. I bought the materials for the flooring. I subcontract, Yeah.
I'm not going to take any more evidence.
Okay.
I don't mean to, but I kind of have to be a little bit rude because I have so many cases I have to get to here, but trying to communicate to you and Ms. Baxter and Home Surface Solutions and Nash Builders that everything is still open. This doesn't close down any options. It's just a decision here that in small claims, Anderson v. Harbor Service Solutions and or Ms. Baxter is dismissed in this case.
Okay, so let me ask a protocol.
Sure.
Clearly, from what the court is saying, a claim would need to be made by Nash Home Builders to Harbor,
There could be.
okay?
I can't prejudge anything.
No,
but
I'm
yeah,
just saying that,
logically, the contract, the suit follows the contract. And so then Nash Builders may have a claim against Harbor Service Solutions and or Ms. Baxter.
So again, I'm just trying to understand protocol. Why would I have to sue Nash?
I know.
Couldn't he just go ahead and make a claim against Harbor because they never delivered on the solution?
You
that
don't
he
have to sue
contracted?
anyone.
That's what I'm going to do. We will go ahead and proceed. We understand everything that I have filed and made and on record is not active anymore based on your decision. So we'll have Nash make a claim against Harbor.
And that's up to all of you. Yeah.
Understand?
All right.
That's what we'll do.
Okay, so that's it for today. Ms. Baxter and Harbor Service Solutions, then you can be on your way, and Mr. Anderson and Nash as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I have one question
Sure.
on the evidence that was provided.
Mhm.
If I know knowingly that she filed information with pictures that are not our house, do I need to make the court aware of that?
Well, it would have become necessary to understand that had this been able to get past the logistics of who's being sued. But going forward, you kind of decide what you think you need to do about that
It's a perjury
outside
issue.
of this.
To me, it's a
case.
perjury issue. She showed pictures.
I haven't taken any testimony from her,
Understand.
but in the future, you may keep that in mind.
But none of this that's, sorry,
There's
none
no,
of this,
yeah.
none of this evidence would be considered for future.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't
understand.
apply directly. Yeah.
Okay.
Only if people, if there's a new case, new evidence. This does not come into any other case. Okay,
Okay.
all right,
Thank you, Judge.
all right, so
Um,
what do we know about
we did.
the grooms?
Douche.
Yeah,
Who
we
do
did
I
have some
tell on
information
her
from them,
to? Like,
some
who
of
do
the
I
case
tell
files
on
that
her?
were also
Perfect.
printed
How
out.
do I
Nope,
do that?
I can find it.
Should I do that? Should I tell on her?
So the
Judge?
grooms, if I could have Keith and Mary back.
Yes, we're hearing Your Honor.
There you are. All right, so back to case 37924. Let me look at what you were able to file here. Oh, good picture. All right.
And we filed the sheriff's return of service.
Right,
well.
I've got that. Let me look at it without anyone talking to me.
Drunk Beaver Productions, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Look at these names given memberships. Did you hear that, pardon me, sassy response she just said too? Without anybody talking to me. AKA shut up. Also, I've just been sabotaged. You guys witnessed it live. Hey Paisley, do you want some breadsticks? And before Paisley even can think about it, because bread makes Paisley happy, I have breadsticks now. Oh man. Anyways. Alright, let's see how the grooms did, shall we? Wouldn't that be a weird name to have at the wedding? The bride and the groom are now the grooms.
So they say they're unable to find Cameron. They served a Kayla Longo, who is a spouse. All right. Yeah. So Cameron Longo does not have notice of today's court date nor this lawsuit. You haven't named a spouse or a community property, or a community, I should say, marital community. So I can't do a judgment in default. But let's see, we could reset this. It's up to you. You got a couple of choices. We can reset this and you can continue to work on getting Cameron Longo served notice. And you can go through a law enforcement, you can go through a business that does legal messaging, you can have family or.
I found a recipe for Chick-fil-A sauce dupe. And part of me is gonna, well, not part of me. The entire fat ass of me is going to make that next week and do some chicken adjacent dishes, I think. That's what we're going to work on. Let's just say I've eaten one breadstick. A breadstick cold is good, but it is not a hot, freshy, you know? A hot, fresh breadstick, soft, with a dip-in sauce, I mean, you can't almost resist. I'm quite happy that I've put the box down. I've had one, the smallest one, mind you, and we're going to walk away. We're going to leave the box on the ground, out of sight, out of mind, to be devoured tomorrow morning when I fucking want to. Yeah, go ahead, Sally Port. You can say anything you want.
Your friend, as long as they file a legal document that the court can count on, about what they served and when they served. But today, your choices are to either set another court date to give you more time to do that, or dismiss the suit, and that's your choice. So
We want to continue. Just have a question. I was under the impression we were suing Cameron Longo Plumbing, and it's my understanding the company's incorporated with him and his wife. But you're saying
you're suing Cameron Longo individually. That's who you named. You're not naming a company. You're not naming a marital community. You're not naming this other person. So you kind of figure out, and if you decide that you're going to amend your small claims, that's fine. But one way or the other, you have to sue the person, you have to serve the entity or person that you're suing, and you're only suing a Cameron Longo. You're not suing a company right now.
then we'll look to amend it to include the spouse and the company.
Okay, so 12/20 or not? Yeah. So we're looking at December 20th, which is a Friday morning.
That's
How's
fine.
that look? All right, December 20th, 8:30, and you'll need to contact Civil Department, get the full service packet for that. If you want to amend your small claim, you'll also need to do that with the Civil Department, and then get the amended complaint and information served. So we'll see you on December 20th at 8:30, and you take it from here.
We're learning the process. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's see.
So we did have a DRC settlement with 800s Morales versus.
Okay, so that's done. And you'll see that I'm flicking back and forth because I have two screens here and the file's electronic. And so I'm looking at the information that you've filed here while you're talking to me. I am listening, but let me get things set up here first, and then I'll put you all under oath. There. All right. All right, so we're starting trial for case number 37365. So Mr. Garten, you have you raise your right hand with me. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and then Mr. Kreitz, you'd raise your right hand with me. Mr. Kreitz, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, now Mr. Garten, you're ready to go to trial today?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Kreitz, you ready to go to trial today?
That I am.
Okay, and that means you're not going to say, darn, I wish I would have called this witness, darn, there's other evidence I didn't give you. It's trial, so no other witnesses, no other information is going to be provided, all right? That means you're both ready, Mr. Garten?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Kreitz?
Correct. I am
Okay.
ready.
All right, so I've got information from Mr. Garten. I have nothing from Mr. Kreitz, but I will hear from you orally. And you can certainly, Mr. Kreitz, refer to anything that Mr. Garten has filed and when I hear from you. But first, I'll start with Mr. Garten. He'll establish whatever his claim is and see, and then I'll turn to you if he's established that and hear from you. So, and Mr. Garten, then if there's something in particular you want me to look at here, I'll ask you to tell me which exhibit. There's one in particular though. Where was that? I don't know why it does this. only in this calendar. It doesn't do this on the criminal side.
Your Honor, I'm so sorry to interrupt. My name is Julie Jacobs. I'm with State Farm Insurance. I just wanted to let you know I'm here. We insure Mr. Kreitz. It was a damages case. So we did attempt to email everything to the
I'm
court.
not going to take anything from you here. 1 second.
No
So,
problem.
are you being
No
called
problem.
as a witness, or are you just showing up on your own?
I'm just showing up as moral support. And because it's a damages case, Mr. Kreitz did not have a lot of involvement in the decision.
State Farm sends people to court for moral support for you? That's new. That's a new one, Sally. I'm so sorry to hear that. We are sending good vibes. I know a lot of our family is dealing with different medical issues right now, either with them or their family members. And we are there for them. We're not giving up on anybody. We're going to make it through. We are going to be there for each other, and we are going to be patient and understanding with our friends and give them grace while they may need support, and that's what we're all going to do. So, but again, State Farm apparently showing up when for moral support. I've actually seen Julie in this court before get told, don't come back, Jack, you know? And good night, Bill. Enjoy your grandson's birthday party. I know you made the backyard game for him. Enjoy it. Have a great time. Hi, Sashina. Love to you too.
Decisions that were made.
All right. Well, all right. So maybe evidence-wise. Well, Ms. Jacobs, let me put you under oath just in case we need to hear from you. So raise your right hand with me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Right. So I'm just trying to get something, trying to recall there it is. Wanted to look at while I was talking with Mr. Garten. So Mr. Garten, I think I understand somewhere between $7,000 and $10,000 some dollars you think you are owed from Mr. Kreitz.
That is correct.
Or about that. Go ahead.
You'd like me to make a statement?
Well,
Yeah. So
I don't have to say a darn thing. I can just go on your pleadings and then turn to Mr. Kreitz, or you have an opportunity to be heard.
okay. Yeah. So
What do you want to do?
I'd like to make a statement, please.
Okay.
So on 9/20 of 2023, my vehicle was involved in an automobile collision with the insured, Mr. Kreitz. The evidence clearly shows that the insured's negligence is the direct and proximate cause of the damages as I was rear-ended, and State Farm does not dispute this liability, lies with them. I had my vehicle repaired in December of 2023, and in January, I sent a diminished value claim of $85.74 to State Farm, and noted that due to the accident, the vehicle now had a documented history of being damaged and therefore had a lower resale value. State Farm stated that they disagreed and disputed the loss of the value, and that I needed a professional to assess the claim. I contacted an appraising company, and they assessed $13,999.20. In addition to the appraisal cost me $1,350. I resubmitted the claim with the requested documentation on February 15th. State Farm continued to dispute the claim and used another appraiser to assess the loss. When asked, State Farm declined to share the findings and methodology used, but I was offered $2,500 on March 12th to settle. My request to the court is that I be indemnified for my loss, and to that end, I have submitted exhibits to support my claim and welcome your questions.
So what is it that you want? What is it that you're asking for?
$10,000, Your Honor.
And that amount would cover you for what?
The diminished value between the initial value of the car versus what it is now worth after the accident.
Okay, so not the cost of the appraisal or anything else, just the
So
reduction.
unfortunately, the loss was over the $10,000 limit, but I did submit exhibits for the remainder. There was a total cost of around $15,000. That includes the $10,716 for diminished value, $3,283.20 for loss of use. It does not include the other expenses incurred from having that vehicle. Then the appraisal of $1,350 and a filing fee of $52, totaling to $15,401.20.
So what I'm trying to narrow in here is your claim is only about the diminished value that you believe your Rivian has. It's not about anything else, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now we know what we're talking about. I thought that's what it was, but I need to be sure from you whether there's if there's a judgment in your favor, the court always looks to how much it costs to serve people notice and how much the filing fee is. So that's an aside. We're just trying to get to the principle is what we call it. All right, and
Understood.
so I've had, as I said, a chance to look at all of your information. Everything you said here was documented here, and then I've got this letter from Walker Appraisals that's seeming to support your side of things. And all right. See if I have any questions before I turn to Mr. Kreitz. Where was that? Just looking through. There it is.
That sucks, Sashina. I'm sorry, but you'll do fine. You'll improve. And I'm also on a plan like that, but my boss is a real bitch. So it's like improve or get a real job. But I'm glad you're here. And like I said, we're all having a bit of a shitty week. It sounds like the judge is having a bit of a shitty week too. But, you know, I would like to implore everybody, if you get into an accident and then you have to go to court, I really want you to check in and make sure your State Farm agent's there. Like, this is crazy. I've never heard of a State Farm agent showing up for moral support.
So, Mr. Kreitz, let me turn to you. Do you agree that you're not disputing that you're liable for the crash, that you did the crash and it was your fault?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And then are you disputing that you owe this $10,000 to,
Yes, I will be disputing that, Your Honor.
okay, so tell me your side of things. And if we need to hear from Ms. Jacobs, then you can call her to witness, but, let me start with you.
As of I believe about a week ago, Ms. Jacobs and State Farm sent me some documentations from Pinnacle Auto Appraisers who assisted with their formulation and calculation for the cost of the Rivian's repairs and the value lost, of which they found $2,200 approximately, if I remember correctly. State Farm should have sent those documents to the court. I am not sure if they were received based on your statements earlier. That is my current contention.
Okay, all I know about that is from the plaintiff's documentation is that State Farm did send an offer on March 12th for $2,500, and that was Exhibit E, and it was a letter signed by Dimitri Taylor on the letterhead of State Farm, March 12th, saying that $2,500 to settle your diminished value demand from, this was sent to Mr. Garten, and feel free to contact them about that. So that's what I know, just from the plaintiff's information. Is that what you're referring to?
No, Your Honor.
Nope, there's something else. Okay. And you didn't file anything with the court, but you're, so is it?
Correct, Your Honor. State Farm, I was informed that State Farm should have sent you those documents.
Okay, maybe I should hear from Ms. Jacobs.
We did. We attempted 3 separate times, I CC'd Mr. Garten and Mr. Kreitz, that we sent the documents to the court last week. I double check, triple check the
Where
address,
did you
and they were
send it? Where did you send it?
Yeah,
Tell
I
me
have
how.
it. I have it prepared to resend right now, and I can tell you exactly
Tell me
the
how you
address.
sent it so I know where
Via
to look.
email. Yeah, via email.
What email
And
address?
that's what I'm getting for you, Your Honor. My apologies. I'm trying to pull it up. Okay, here it is. It was sent to and I have it prepared to resend to a different address. I have all the documents right in front of me.
Don't do it. We're just gonna see
No
if we
problem.
can find that.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
He's gonna look around and see, but so, all right, so Ms. Jacobs, you work for State Farm Insurance in what capacity?
Judge, she already said she's a moral support agent. She works out of the Golden Gate location. This is her outdoor office that she uses to Zoom in for moral support to Zoom hearings for her State Farm clients. Aren't you listening?
I am a litigation claims specialist in property damage for 32 years.
Okay, with State Farm Insurance?
With State Farm Insurance, correct.
And this, on behalf of Mr. Kreitz, how is it that you're here? Tell me in what capacity?
Well, given that all the conversations and the negotiations are with State Farm directly, Mr. Kreitz doesn't really have any involvement, and I don't think he's an expert to speak on why we offered what we offered. So that's why I'm here to assist him.
All right, and did State Farm Insurance pay anything out to Mr. Garten on this case?
Mr. Garten pursued his property damage claim through Nationwide, his own insurance company. So we did pay 100% of the property damage to his truck, as well as rental for him. We paid 100% of all of that. And then we did have our own expert review all the diminished value documentation, and we did have a report prepared. It was not shared pre-litigation because it's protected work product. We did share it with him once suit was filed, and that was done by Pinnacle Auto Appraisers. He should have a copy of that report now.
All right, so let me jump back to Mr. Garten. Why are you suing Mr. Kreitz in particular? Tell me why you're suing him in particular.
Your Honor, I'm suing him because he's the one who hit my vehicle.
Okay. All right. And then Mr. Kreitz, this is still your insurance company, State Farm Insurance?
That is correct.
All right. And, all right, so we're just still waiting to see if that information does come in.
Your Honor, I actually have some more details about the email that was sent from Miss Julie Jacobs.
The one that you supplied in Exhibit E or something else?
This is something else. This is referencing the submission of evidence from the defendant.
Well, hang on a second while we try and see what we've got here.
So in reference to anything said to the court, they would receive confirmation. I tried searching.
All right, so we don't have anything from State Farm Insurance. You would have received a confirmation. Did you get a confirmation that would help?
No, that's what I was saying. It was returned undelivered. So I sent it 2 additional times, and I copied the address directly from your website.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure why. I didn't know what else to do. I called the court. I wasn't able to get a live person. So I apologize. That's why I just came prepared to submit it now.
Tell me then what's in your information there. What is it that you want the court to know?
We had a independent appraisal done by Pinnacle Auto Appraisers, as Mr. Kreitz testified to. And we have that report. And Mr. Garten, I think we did send you a copy of that report, correct?
You're talking to me, you're not talking to Mr. Garten.
Sorry.
So
I just wanted to make sure he had it. Yes, we
No,
sent, we
talk
have
to me and
we
tell me what it is that you were going to bring to the court. So you have
a
a Pinnacle
professional
Peak or
appraisal,
Pinnacle Auto Appraisal report.
Pinnacle auto appraisers, correct?
Okay, and you expect that the court, what was the sum result of that appraisal?
They opined that the diminished value to Mr. Garten's truck was $2,500.
Does that go back to the March letter that I read off?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
so that auto appraisal report goes back to March or earlier.
Correct.
And that's what the basis for the 2,500. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, but it doesn't have that. All right, well, at least that's what you offered. And then, all right. And then have anything else that you want to testify to, Ms. Jacobs, that I should know or think about or?
Well, we did run a Carfax report. There are no accidents listed on it. You know, our position is the vehicle was properly repaired based on industry standards. And however, given the year of the vehicle, it was a newer vehicle with fairly low miles. So that is why we believed that he was owed something for diminished value. The difference is in how much. And we relied on our expert to determine that based on the market, based on other vehicles of the same year, make, and model that are for sale based on the mileage. And that was the basis of our $2,500 offer.
Okay. Here it is. So, Mr. Garten, let me understand from you, why do you think, and I'm looking at your appraisal, your person that you hired, Walker Appraisal, out of Granite Falls, Washington. Why do you think your car is diminished in value? Tell me why.
So it's commonly understood that a vehicle that's been in an auto accident is worth less than if it was in mint condition. There's a grading scale that goes from pristine all the way down to rough, even included in most appraisals.
Why do you think your Rivian is now worth $10,000 less than it was, or at least $10,000 less? Why?
Because it was damaged in an auto accident and required repair.
Okay, and it's repaired now, right?
Correct.
You still own it?
Yes, I do.
You trying to sell it?
I previously entertained offers, but after it was damaged, I did not.
Okay, so still yours. So, you know, I'm looking at Mr. Walker's appraisal here, and it's pretty lengthy, and he has his own method of doing things. And he seems to have a lot of experience in several different fields related to all this. Is there anything else that tells you, you know, that your Rivian is at least $10,000 less than it was?
So to be clear, I actually thought its diminished value was less than that. And that's why my initial offer or settlement offer that I sent to State Farm was for a lower value. The only reason I ended up on the 10,716 number was at the appraiser's assessment.
Mr. Walker?
Correct.
Because he came out, yeah, much higher. So I remember 10,716. Okay. All right. So your discussions have been with State Farm Insurance almost exclusively, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So anything else, Mr. Barton? Anything else you want me to hone in on or look at or think about here?
No, I think the exhibits speak for themselves.
Okay, and then Mr. Kreitz, anything more?
I have no additional comments.
Okay, anything more from Ms. Jacobs?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so like I said in my introductory remarks, I gotta make this decision to a legal standard. And what I have is a really interesting report from Mr. Walker, and I have rumor of a report from State Farm, but they say, 2,500 is what they thought based on whatever report they had. But the problem is I have to find for you, Mr. Garten, is that Mr. Walker's way of doing things is recognized under his industry as a standard and dependable and reliable to courts. I mean, I think I could qualify him as an expert if I had him here. There was more information. You've done a really good job here, but I can't then even if I take him as an expert, which I probably could, I can't make a finding that I have to make under the law that his computations are recognized in the industry as the standard and can be relied on by a court in this situation. So then I look at what else I've got here and I got error. So I don't have the evidence that's needed to make this finding on your behalf after trial. So I deny your claim here, dismiss your claim against Mr. Kreitz. Now, I don't know if your discussions outside of the court can be had with State Farm. You can always re-engage there and see what you want to do. That's up to them and to you without the court being present. But I don't have the evidence to reach that legal standard with what's been presented on this case. So following trial, your claim is dismissed against Mr. Kreitz. And that's all then for today.
Thank you.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Gart, Mr. Kreitz, Ms. Jacobs. You can be on your way.
Wow, dismissed again. I think that's the right move. I do. Interesting cases today. A lot of misfiling, a lot of issues, a lot of snippy snappy judgy jabbies, if you will. She must know Dan. That's right, Vicky. She must know Dan. I hope that you guys enjoyed this Friday night. We'll be back at it again. We've got members only on Sunday along with Court Watchers Anonymous. Tomorrow we'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see how we do. We'll see how good my workout goes at the gym. Huh? And then we'll see how I do. Yesterday, I couldn't believe I got there twice yesterday. Anyways, I almost did 20,000 steps, 18,500 steps yesterday. Amazing. I really appreciate you guys holding me up because, we all get fucked up sometimes. So, I love y'all. Remember that. I love you. I am proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Bye.
Ways down red.